Alrighty.
Okay. So, Ryan, tell me where you're from, how you got started, because I remember you usually wear a hat, and it's from your hometown.
Yeah, I feel a little naked without wearing a hat and my glasses. I like to wear glasses because it makes me look smarter and because I can freaking see better. I'm from a small town in Georgia called Monroe. It's in between Athens and Atlanta, and kind of a very few stoplight town. Um, and I always felt really, really weird as a kid, and really, really small, and that made me kind of feel like I was gonna, I had to do something with my life, because I didn't fit where I was, so I had to get out, and that's that's where I'm from, and that's why I remember that. That's why I wear that hat because I remember when I hit over 10,000 followers on Twitter. I was like, that's more people than were in the town that I was born in, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Thank you for sharing this out, Ryan.
of course.
So, how did you end up getting into all this VR live stream kind of technology?
So, I, as in my opinion, it's kind of a weird thing to say, but I think all technologies are very similar. I think, in fact, in many ways, all technologies are the same because when they're successful, they grow together and they work together. In fact, today, Facebook just actually mentioned that live and virtual reality will be together by the end of the year. So you'll be able to go do live video through virtual reality. And virtual reality is really just another computation platform. It is as big as people starting to have personal computers or laptops. So um, virtual reality is something I've always been interested in. I was too young to invest or to be involved in the mid 90s when the first wave came. And so that probably saved my butt because I would have. I was very interested. I mean, that was so early. Everything was so exponentially too expensive for consumer based and polygon crappy graphics. It wasn't ready. And so
$5,000 for a PC. I
yeah,
remember,
yeah.
yeah,
I
a
mean,
386.
we're talking VR being something that wasn't ready in the 90s, and now even in 2016, it's still very junkyard, very duct tape feeling. Oh, I want to check out you're chatting in here, so I'll do that as well.
Okay. So, how do you find Periscope?
How did I find Periscope? The funny thing is, I was actually on a podcast with somebody that introduced me to Periscope yesterday. A gentleman by the name of Mark Madrigal. He told me that he was like you'd be really good on Periscope because you're quick on your feet and you're funny and all that stuff. And so it was a few weeks after the app came out, and so I downloaded it. And I even felt like I was coming on, even only being like maybe a few weeks or 2 months or whatever it was coming on. And I felt like there were already stars and celebrities on there, like Alex Kahn and Alex Pettit had already had like such huge success. Amanda Oleander was already a star and all that stuff. All those people that we know their names very well. But I got on and I was just immediately amazed by live streaming and the power of the community that was formed. And so that's why community is always what I've done. I mean, I've always loved community and collaboration, and maybe that comes from my past of being a little bit of an outsider.
So, this show's about people connect, connecting their thoughts, making actions, and actually realizing those initial thoughts into a reality. So you love Periscope. You've been doing this. What makes you think I should do a conference about that? And how do you go from that thought to reality?
So I just wrote that you sound a little bit awful. That background at Starbucks is killing it. So it's interesting. I had the idea as I was walking around about to getting people together, because all these things were happening in New York where people were coming together and people were converging at small meetups. And I had an idea and I started talking about it with my small community. I think if I remember correctly, I had 700 followers at that point in time, and I love them like so dearly. You know how you love your tribe, and I think that smaller, intimate tribe is nicer than a big tribe, because you get to hear so many individual voices. And so I was walking around the baseball field that I usually walked in at that time, that was right near my house, and I was talking about it. I was like, we should do this. We should put this together. And by the end of that week, I overheard that John Legere, the CEO of T-Mobile, was talking about that idea, and that it had traveled that far. And I also realized that somebody else was going to do it if I didn't. So I always talk about how I think it's bullshit that people always talk and never do. And so I decided to do it with very little budget, a lot of faith in the community, and a lot of hope. And I really believed that it would work. And it was hard. It was a struggle. We were making up panel discussions and topics about things that people had never talked about, and never had topics about. And now they're pretty common at multiple conferences. And so Kathy Hackle and myself put this on with the help of the community. So we had so many volunteers, and we got a nice venue in New York, and we had tickets for sale, and we could only sell 500 of them, and we sold 530. And we were so sold out, and people were just going crazy after that. And it was amazing. It was one of the formative times of my life. And I like to think about that, because as an adult, you don't think that you're going through as many changes as you're able to. And as an adult, in the past few years, I've gone through a shitload of changes.
Yeah, if I could afford the plane trip, I would have been there at New York. Um, it's something, it's one of those momentous moments that, you can't recreate it. There's only going to be one New York Periscope Summit, and that was the one you made. So can you tell me how some of the community help you get this off the ground?
So, everything is risk versus reward. And the risk that I had was being able to afford the space, being able to afford the bandwidth, being able to afford food and beverage and all that stuff. And you just don't know if you're going to make that. And so uh, people rallied around, people scraped together enough money to come, which was awesome. Tickets were $199. We made it above even, which is great. And we had a lot of volunteers. Like Hannah Bro has been a volunteer and a huge supporter, who I know you love. We were both on one of her scopes, I think, just last night. Was that
Yes,
just last?
It was last night, and
It was
Hannah and
last
I
night.
are BFFs. She is
She's so
awesome.
cool. And Mika Phillips, and of course Alice and Randall Chase, and then the people that started to offer to be speakers, because we didn't know who was going to be able to come, and we ended up having Dan Moore fly himself out and pay on his own dime. We had Alex Kahn, we had Alex Pettit, we had a lot of people that really helped us to create the content to make this. And it was wonderful. So I see all these wonderful tribes like the Perry Girls, who are, in my opinion, have been one of the most powerful and loving groups in live streaming, and I hope that they continue that, and I want to do something um, in consideration of that for them in the future.
Well, I know since Joanne Pham's pretty short, she might appreciate platform shoes.
I'm
Uh,
sorry, say that again.
since Joanne Pham is so short, she might appreciate some platform shoes.
Yeah,
Uh,
she could use that. She could use that.
I love Joanne. She is such an awesome person, and she found the right people to connect with.
She certainly did. And I think I love the way that, because I've seen Joanne do this in a very amazing way, where she's not a businesswoman. So a lot of people could have leveraged a community like the Perry Girls into something that could have made them money, but the purity of Joanne, like her heart, she just wants it to be for the community, and that's great. So I hope I can be a part of that, because I have two little girls. I love anything that is I've always been a feminist. Before I even started Periscope stuff, I was speaking at conferences, at things like Blog Her and stuff like that. In fact, I spoke at Blog Her this year before Kim Kardashian. Like that. I'm one of the few men that is up on stages like that, because my goal is truly to make the world a better place for women and for people that don't have as much of a voice as I would like for them to have, like children. That's why we work with erased child trafficking, and that's something that I've seen a lot of Periscopers get on board with. If you guys are interested, their Twitter handle is Help Erase, and their goal is to end child trafficking. It's a nonprofit, but it's a really good cause.
Yeah, that is an amazing cause. It's one of the charities that I help support is the Bombay Teen Challenge. And it's for the people that get the children out of the red light district of Mumbai in India. And what they do is they get the kids out before they end up stuck in that cycle. So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
no, it's such an important thing to, I can't say it without sounding all Whitney Houston, but like the children are our future, and you're stupid if you're not putting a lot of your efforts into, even if you don't have children. Before I was married, before I had children, I was working with Special Olympics. I've been working with Special Olympics since I was a kid. For some reason, there's some skill set that just was deeply embedded inside me before I was born that makes me very good with people with special needs. And I found that out at a young age, and I've been recognized by the White House for that talent, because I love to be able to have that. It's an amazing talent, and I would have never known that I had that talent if I wouldn't have volunteered, if I wouldn't have had somebody ask me and then say yes. So, we live in a world of no's. It's dumb to be a person that says no to opportunities that could involve. So, when somebody asks if you can be a marrow donor, know that it's going to hurt like hell to get your marrow sucked out of your damn bones. But you know what's going to happen is that pain is going to go away, and you're going to save somebody's life. Know that every morning on Saturday, somebody like me or somebody like Ryan Flynn or somebody like you is going to get up and go and teach swimming classes for Special Olympics in a cold ass pool. But you know that's better than doing? That's better than sitting on the damn couch in the morning and not getting any exercise and watching TV. You're not doing anything. We have such little damn time in life, and we have so much good that we can do. And if you're one of those people that's like, gosh, I can't wait until this time that I can do something, then why the f are you waiting? Like get up and do it. There are a million asks on television, on live stream. There are a million ways that you can help the world, and you already kind of know what it is. Just do it. you know
That kind of brings out the premise of this show. You know, I was able to inspire someone and help someone, and what I got back was so positive, so nice. I'm like, I want to do this every week. I want to help equip my community with the tools to, you know, to make a difference in this world. You know, a difference in their own lives, a difference in other lives. And, I do want to thank you for doing this. I was very surprised you said yes. Um,
No, there's no way I would say no to you. There's no way. So if any of you guys are watching and are like, who's this guy? Dave Gonzalez, I would be on his show before I would be on Pat Flynn or 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 any famous person's show, because Dave Gonzalez has supported me in the past. He has paid for tickets to come to events that I have put on, and I respect the living hell out of that in more ways than most anybody else, because he is a volunteer in life. He has a good heart. So Dave, no, man, like you asked, I said yes, because you're a person that wants to do good things, and I know in your heart you're good. So don't pay attention to the fucking numbers. Like, don't pay attention to the numbers. It's who you reach. Like, I don't come on your show to get numbers. I come into your show to give you numbers. I come on to your show to give you love. That's the way the world works. You gave to me, man, and that means a lot to me. And you've always believed in me. And you retweet the stuff that I and you stay engaged, and you're a good person. And that's why people like me are gonna help people like you. And that's why at one point in time I was at the numbers that you were, or whatever. Like other people helped me. Like you find the good people, because in this world, there are more good people than there are bad people. That is the fucking truth. There are so many more good people than there are bad people. I'm sorry for cussing on your show, but Fearless Fridays, it already had 2 F's, so I figured I'd add a third. I
no
apologize.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Just so you guys know, this show is rated PG-13, thanks to Ryan now.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, and I look horrible. I still have painted fingernails from Halloween. We've been so busy. We had 1,500 people at our Halloween party.
wow.
And it's funny because it's just a Halloween party, and for Summit we only have room for about 1,300 people, and I'm like, and I had to change venues to get a bigger space for Summit this year, because it's gotten to be bigger and more professional, and we've had to hire some professional management team to take care of it and all this stuff. It's been a very fun thing, and it's because of people like you, and it's because of who you touch, man. And I appreciate the living hell out of you. I appreciate the hell out of Hannah. I appreciate the hell out of Joanne, because we're all kind of a part of this, and we're all taking a risk, and we're all putting our content out there. Like, I know that it takes you time to put this show together, to figure out OBS, to figure out Periscope producer, to schedule this, to put me in Zoom, all that stuff. I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but it pays off.
I spend about 3 hours a day doing setup for this show. A lot of what I'm doing is reaching out to new people. I apologize. I did name drop you um, to Amy Schmidt-Tower, who I will be interviewing in January. So I apologize for the name drop, but I invited her to see this broadcast um, because honestly, 4 weeks ago, this was just an idea floating around somewhere inside here, and I decided to make it a reality. And it's been so successful.
That's awesome. So what is the Twitter handle for Fearless Fridays?
It's currently Dave Gogg's 2012.
Okay.
I have thought about creating its own account. I just don't like dealing with multiple.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Keep it the way that it is. It's fine the way it is.
But yeah, this show has become such an amazing um, concept now. The fact that I'm planning stuff for 3 months from now, and this is barely a month old, I did not expect it to take off the way it did. Um, so you are definitely one of the inspirations because I'm like, well, if Ryan could do a summit, I should be able to do a weekly show.
Yes, I, I think that's great. I think I think it's inspiring, and you've got the right mentality of how to do it. And if you're amplifying others and you're amplifying an ideology of good in the world, then people are going to do it, and people aren't going to ask for anything. People are going to ask how they can help. Like I'm actually kind of still in shock that you would even think that I wouldn't say yes to you. Like, of course I'm going to say yes to you, man.
Well, I know how busy you are. You
It's
know,
it's okay.
you.
Like,
I don't think you sleep.
I don't, but I mean, it's funny because today is a really bad day to be on video because my hair is basically like making me 3 inches taller. I haven't shaved in a few days, but it's interesting. We've been back to back with everything, but I put this in my schedule and I thought of it as a break. I thought of this as a break, as a time for me to get on a platform that I love and hang out with people that I truly love and care about. And one of those people is you.
Oh, thank you so much. And guys, Ryan is also on Snapchat, and I like you to screenshot this. I apologize for my cough. This is his Snap code. Apparently, Ryan was having a stroke or something, and they still took the picture. But if you care to screenshot, I'm going to leave this open for a couple seconds.
Look at you rocking it on Periscope producer. Look at you, pro level Dave Gonzalez.
I literally took a day off work, and I sat down and I just did everything I could.
Just hammered it out.
Yeah, well, like you were saying, all technology is very similar, and that's how I'm able to assimilate software so much. Uh, you know, it's because software is designed to be user friendly, a good software, and so I'm able to pick it up pretty quickly.
That's awesome, man. When are you gonna be in the LA area again?
Summit. I'm working on the hotel lodging aspect of that.
Awesome.
But are there still tickets available?
There are, thank God, we got the bigger venue, so we are doing ticket sales, and you can just go to www.summit.live. There you are, right there, and that is the conference. And um, we are sponsored by Right Side, who owns the .live account, and I think we're going to be very freely giving away .lives at the conference. And we also have a media partnership with VR Scouts, so we're going to have a lot of virtual reality stuff and a lot of live VR, a lot of live 360 stuff. So it's going to be more than just live streaming, more than just Periscope. It's going to be collaborative technology and just innovative creators. And we will have a lot. Last time it was brands and influencers. This time it's going to be brands, influencers, tech leaders, investors, and thought leaders. It's gotten to be a much larger and more amazing beasts.
Yes, when I went to Summit in January, and it really does feel much longer than the 10 months it's been. And I'm sorry, it's just funny to see a car driving right behind you. Uh, but I went there to network. I came in with a plan with Periscope, with the summit. It really is what you make of it. If you go at VidCon, it's what you make of it. No matter what level you buy at VidCon, you can make a productive experience. And I know I certainly did in your meeting.
You know that it's funny you say that, because I go to conferences quite often. You know, I speak at conferences, and then I go to amplify and help out my friends at conference. Like so Ron Pruitt from Roker Media was at Ad Age just yesterday, so I went to go and take pictures of him and tweet him out and everything, because they just did the live fronts in New York. And I go to conferences of all sizes. I've gone to conferences with 100 to 200 people. I've gone to conferences with thousands of people. And you're exactly right. You know what? As long as I get one thing that makes it valuable enough, then it's worth it to me. And you know what the percentage of conferences that I've gone to that I've gotten my value out of?
How many?
100%. I have either gotten a client, made a partnership, or made a friendship that has made every trip to Brussels, to Copenhagen, to Bali, to New York, to Miami, every single damn one of them. And it's not just Outlook, it's in the hunt, because you can always find that person, whether they're on stage or they're in the audience. Like yesterday, I met someone from Deloitte, and we're about to do something together, and she gave me some information and some insight into an industry that I know is really a big deal, and that was valuable. So go to these conferences and be open-minded and meet people, because you never know. Like everybody thinks, oh, you're live streaming the conference, there's no value in me being there. That's complete bullshit. The value
Agreed,
of
definitely agreed.
being with humans, like this is like a teaser. This is like being on Periscope is a teaser for the real life interaction that you're going to have when you meet somebody and you say, oh my God, like I usually get, oh, you're taller than I thought you were. I'm a tall, goofy dude. But you know, until you're able to really get to that person, like Mitch Oates and Dan Moore, they didn't know each other, even though they lived in Australia, and they did very similar things. And they met at Summit, and that's amazing. You know, Amanda Oleander right now, she and I just talked a few days ago about doing something very, very special and very new. And you know, I don't think it's open, but behind us is our green screen studio here, where we're able to do live mixed reality stuff. I'm like so excited for the partnerships and the friendships that we've gotten.
Also, Anita Wing Lee and Emma Singh also met at the Periscope Summit.
That's completely true, and that's the power of getting together. You know, like I keep saying that these years are right now is collaboration between individuals and technology, and in many beautiful ways, individuals and technologies are collaborating together with others, and you're seeing cool apps that are coming that are redefining what apps are and what community is. And I think that's one of the things that Periscope does. It teleports you into someone else's experience.
Definitely. You know, I love the fact that I could tune into Sarah Arlen's broadcast and all of a sudden I'm in Paris.
Right,
You know,
right.
and I get a personal guided tour. And I don't have to buy any souvenirs.
No, it's so cool. It's just the world. We right now we're in this digital renaissance. It's very true, and I think this is an interesting thing, because I've been talking today. I had an actor and a director and a screenwriter come in to do kind of a salon, you know, talk, which is an old term from the 1700s, when the French used to go into the parlor and have a salon and talk about, you know, ideas. And so we're talking about a revival in art and media, a new way of doing things, something that could revamp and revive something like poetry, and change theater. You know, there are things that are going to redefine. We're going to look at things and we're going to be like, what is that? Is that a movie, or is that a game, or is that an interactive experience, or is that all three of those components? And people are going to say, what the hell are we going to name this? What the hell are we going to call it? People are already saying, what are we going to call this? because nobody knows right now. I was with there's a director named Jon Favreau who directed the Iron Man movies, who directed
Okay.
Jungle Book, and I was doing an interview with him, and we were talking about that because he created this amazing piece called Gnomes and Goblins, and it is all of those components. And I was like, what are we going to name this? What are we going to name this? And he's like, that's the question that we're asking by making the piece. That's so cool. Make something that you can't tell what it is, but you know that it has components of awesome.
It's been interesting to see how, uh, especially with things like social media, where uh, we've gone from person to person to all digital, and we're going back to person. I think Brian Fanso said it best that live stream is the new TV, and TV has become the video.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. All these things are disruptive in their own time. It's a new generation of activity, and live streaming is an interesting one because I was talking to Veronica McGregor is a contact that we'll have at Summit who will be a speaker from NASA. And NASA, if you think about it, 50 years ago they were live streaming the countdown, you know,
Yeah,
but now it's live and engaged streaming, so it's redefining itself, and now people don't know what to call it because it's new enough.
yeah,
And just in general, like it's attaching social media to video, and social media is a phenomenon that's not but around a decade old. So we have to think about how young we are in technology and how much of responsibility we have in being good people in technology, being good people that own something. We own these channels now. We own our own networks. We own our own. Like if you have a big network, like look at VR Scout. I work at VR Scout. We have 120 something thousand likes on Facebook. When we put some content up, it has an effect. It has an
yeah,
effect, and
it
we have
does.
to take that as responsibility.
Well, speaking of VR Scout, I definitely have become more intrigued because of their posts. Because I'll be honest, when you first started talking VR after the summit, I'm like, okay, Ryan is nuts,
I
but
had so many people call me
you know,
nuts.
but
Yeah.
you're a good nut. You're a good nut.
Well, like I knew that live streaming. I knew a year ago that live streaming in VR would be the same thing. There's no way. So I was writing a screenplay last year in 360, and it started with the line, "A bottle breaks next to you," and I had to start to think about where the bottle breaks, because you're going to look down and you see next to your right foot that a bottle breaks next to you. Instead of in a movie, the bottle's going to break on a sign or something like that's in your field of vision. This is a completely different experience. And Kayvon, I used one of his words. He said teleport when he created Periscope. If you can teleport to somebody's actual reality, see a 12-year-old girl's like war-torn refugee camp, then that's going to have more of an effect on you than a flat screen thing. It's like it's comparing a daguerreotype to like an old photo that's like printed on copper to a hologram. We're so much different now in the way that we're going to be able to tell stories, the way we're going to be able to interact, and all of these things are going to interact. You know what people are calling me crazy for now? People are calling me crazy because I'm making hologram partnerships, because I know that holograms are going to be important in the future of storytelling in VR, because it's going to help me cover up extra cameras. It's going to help me cover up other things. And it's also going to be able to give me a guide or a narrator in a very special way that traditional film didn't really need. So I don't give a damn if I'm going to be crazy every year, and then the next year somebody say, oh, I don't mention some of the stuff that makes me even crazier. But whatever, I don't care. I just don't care.
So let's go back to going from thought to action to reality. So to recap, getting help, surrounding yourself with people that want to empower you, not take you down. You know, that is such a huge thing. My day job, for those of you that don't know, I work for Amazon in the fulfillment center. I'm in the quality department, and my work group is probably one of the most negative groups you'll ever meet. And I spend at least 40 hours a week with them. So I know how different you feel when you're around people that want to see you succeed versus people that are going to gripe, bitch, I cuss too, um, who are going to, who are going to try to bring you down because they do not want to pursue their dreams.
Well, there's a lot of that's a very difficult river to build a bridge over or to jump across turtle shells or whatever, because you can't really tell what people's agendas are. Usually people's agendas are very self-serving. I have a lot of experience with, because a lot of things that I create are built to amplify people. So people that want to get amplified for no good reason will be around me, just to be amplified. And so I have to find these tricks to figure out what people's missions are. So asking what somebody's mission statement is, because if you're a business or you're an influencer or whatever, you should have a mission statement. An influencer is the same as a business because they have their goals. So what are your goals besides getting more eyeballs on you? Are your goals lofty? Are your goals realistic? Are your goals something that I'm in line with? So finding someone that has that alignment, and someone that you truly feel like you see that they're doing something that has an effect, then that's the person that you want to go to. If you see, hey, this person is activating a group to do this, but if you look at somebody and you're like, okay, they're talking about something that's great, then really think about what they're doing, what is the cause behind it, and what is this fuel driving to. Because a large percentage of people that are influencers, and this is not just Periscope, this is just in general. I live in Hollywood where everything is a facade. So that's junk food. And you need to figure out, if somebody's attached to something amazing, you can usually tell it. And if and that's probably the hardest thing to do. But if you're able to pinpoint that, then a lot of the other stuff is just fine. But your situation, you're trapped in a negative environment, so take your breaks outside. Take your breaks away from those people. Do your job and do you, and know that your outside world is better. Know that your world where you meet up with Hannah is better. Stay the hell away from negative people. I cut off a meeting pretty early today because I had 4 meetings, and 3 of them went the entire course. There was 1 meeting that didn't go the entire course because there was a lot of negativity, and I just cut it off.
Well, one thing, I don't take my breaks with them. And, I'm a strong enough person that I'm able to identify it and not let it affect me. And I know that's a skill that some people don't have or haven't yet developed. But, you know, believe in yourself, viewers. Really believe in yourself. Do what your heart, you know, I've done photography. I've done all kinds of stuff. And honestly, you have to have passion. If, don't do it for money, don't do it for fame, do it for the passion. And that, it may not make you rich, it may not make you famous, but you will be happier
Yeah.
than trying to, than if you are rich or famous or both, and you're having to live up to, as Ryan said, a facade. You know,
Completely.
but
Well,
we go ahead.
it's running on time for
Yeah,
me.
we
So
are time to wrap it up.
yeah,
Again,
if I had more time, I would stay. But you know, I wish I could, because this you're an excellent interviewer, even with the Starbucks background noise towards the end. But so how do we follow you again? On We need to follow you on Twitter, and where else do we need to follow you?
on Periscope at Dave Gons 2012. This account you're watching right now.
All right.
And just so you know, I am interviewing Silviko Rosca, who I met at the summit last January. That's someone I wouldn't have known if I had just been watching it. And
Hmm.
I'm also accepting sponsors as well as starting my own. Whoops, I'm not quite a pro at Periscope producer. I just made a Patreon account to help be able to produce the best content possible, because I want people to be able to connect and help. I want to take this beyond just Periscope and really have effective change. So, Ryan, thank you so much for coming in. It was indeed an honor.
Thank you so
You have
much.
any last commentary?
No, man. I think the last thought is, you know, it goes back to one thing that happened to me recently, where somebody asked me if I got scared when I was in front of a large audience, and the truth of the matter is I don't get scared, because the size of the audience doesn't matter. The real thing that matters is if one person is activated and one person does something. That's what matters. I can be in front of you know, tens of thousands of people and nobody does jack shit, or I can be in front of 9 people and 2 of them do something amazing, or meet and you know, and make something from it. So remember, you know, whenever you're on, or whenever you're doing something, you know, be as to the core of who you are and what you want to do. So, you know, I don't want you to follow me. Like, you can follow me, that's friggin' fine, but I'd love for you to follow the Erase Child Trafficking page at Hate Help Erase, and I'd love for you to follow Dave Gonzalez. I'd love for you guys to do something awesome, because we're on a little shitty spinning pile of dirt around a big burning flame. We don't have that much time to do anything. So do your stuff, man. You know, we don't have that much time. Have fun doing it. I wouldn't work so hard if I didn't love what I do. So I'm sorry for coming on here looking ratty and not unshaven, but tonight I'm going to take a nice long shower and shave and look pretty for tomorrow and hang out with my girls. So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Have a great day. Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.